Good morning, friends, and welcome to another episode. We are going to continue with naming of compounds, but today we'll focus on how to name oxo-anions. So, what it means that we need to know what oxo-anions are. Okay, oxo-anions are simply complex anions that contain oxygen. The word oxo means oxygen, it comes from the word oxygen. An anion, it's a negatively charged atom or a negatively charged substance. So it's a complex ion, like for example, this SO3 minus 2. This is complex ion because it contains more than one atom, so it's complex. And it also contains oxygen. So any complex ion or any complex anion that contains oxygen is an oxo-anion. A very good example is this one, SO3 minus 2. Can I have another example, PO4 minus 3. This is another example. Can even have another example, CO3 minus 2. So these are all examples of oxo-anions, and we're going to learn about how to name them. So first, we'll look at the steps involved. So let's write this oxo-anion. Let's say SO4 minus 2, CO3. No, let me clear this please. So SO4, yes, SO4 minus 2, CO3 minus 2. Let me add another one, PO4 minus 3. So these are all oxo-anions. Now, when you take the first oxo-anion and you are asked to tell the number of oxygen in this anion, you realize that the number of oxygen atoms here is 4. The second oxo-anion has how many oxygen atoms? It has 3 oxygen atoms. The third one also has 4 oxygen atoms, sorry. Now, in naming oxo-anions, the number of oxygen atoms in the anion really matters. So you need to know how to name the number of oxygen in the anion itself. So if the number of oxygen is 1, it should be a mono-oxo. Alright? If the number of oxygen is 2, it will be a dioxo. If the number of oxygen is 3, it should be a dryoxo. If it is 4, it should be a tetraoxo. If it's 5, it should be pentaoxo. If it is 6, let's end with 6, it should be an hexa. So it's very important you know this. The number of oxygens in the one ion. If it's 1, then the naming would have something monooxo. If it is 2, you'd have dioxo. If you have 3, you'd have trioxo. 4, tetra. 5, penta. 6, hexa. You have 7, 7 will be hepta, and on it goes, but I will end with 6. So now let's quickly take one of the oxo anions. So we'll take SO4 minus 2. Let's look at the steps. So the first step involved in naming this compound has to do with the number of oxygens in the compound. So we first name the number of oxygens. That's the first step. That will be in this box. So number of oxygens. Number 2. So here it will be a tetraoxo. So this box will have tetraoxo. Number 2. So we are done with the oxygen part. Number 2 is to go into the next element. The element in this case is sulfur. So, but you don't name the sulfur as sulfur. You name it in its eighth form. The word is eight. So if it's sulfur, it will be sulfate. If it's phosphorus, it will be phosphate. If it is carbon, it should be carbonate. If it is nitrogen, it should be nitrate. So you name this compound, this aspect of the oxo-anion with in its eighth form. So here it should be, so that will be in this box. So here it should be sulfate. So that's the next thing you do. So name the second part of oxo-anion. Alright, so after you're done with the oxo-anion, just go straight to the oxidation numbers. Alright, we go to the oxidation numbers of the sulfate. So of that element here, this element, go to its oxidation number. You need to calculate the oxidation number. So here, but you put it in parentheses. So we calculate the oxidation number, you put it in parentheses. So we will be looking at that. You know how to calculate oxidation numbers. So we put it in parentheses here. When you are done, then you go to the next level. Because it's an ion, you end with ion. That's how you end with your name. It's an ion. It's actually an anion. So you end with anion. So tetraoxosulfate, the oxidation number of the sulfur, then you end with an ion, sorry. So let's look at an example. So here we will calculate the oxidation number of the sulfur. So let's quickly do that. So SO4 minus 2. So the charge on this compound is minus 2. So sulfur plus 4 of the oxygen equals to what? Minus 2. So the S will be what? Plus 4. Oxidation number of oxygen is minus 2 equals to minus 2, right? So that will be S minus 8 equals to minus 2. So that means that oxidation number of the sulfur will be plus 8, alright, minus 2, which will give us plus 6. So that will be Vi. So that's the oxidation state of the sulfur. So what it means is that we'll come to this place and we'll put Vi here because that's 6. It's Vi. So we'll put Vi here. So that will be tetraoxosulfate ion. That's how you name this compound. Now look at another example quickly. So we'll be looking at the PO4 minus 3. So first we'll start by identifying the number of oxygens in this compound. So this is a tetraoxo, but what? It's a phosphate. So phosphate, then the parenthesis, then we bring our ion. So we need to calculate the ionization number of the phosphorus. Let's quickly do that. So it's P plus 4 of the oxygen equals to the charge on the compound minus 3. So P plus as 4 charge of oxygen is -2 equals to -3. So that will be P. This will give us minus let's -2 times 4 will give us -8. That will be equals to -3. So P will be -3 plus 8. So that will give us +5, which is V. So we'll put V here. So the name of this oxo-anion will be a tetraoxophosphate. Oxophosphate 5 ion. As simple as that. Let's look at another example. So we'll be looking at NO3 minus. So how many oxygens do we have in this ion? It's a tri 3. So that will be trioxo. But it's a what? It's a nitrate. So trioxonitrate. Then we bring our parenthesis. We'll calculate the oxidation number and put it into the parenthesis. But it's an ion, so put an ion here. So now let's do our calculation. So it's nitrogen plus 3 of the oxygen equals to the charge of this anion. It is -1. So that will be nitrogen plus 3 times the charge of oxygen -2 equals to -1. So nitrogen, this will give us -6 equals to -1. So that will give us nitrogen equals to -1 plus 6, right? So that will give us nitrogen to be +5. So the oxidation number of nitrogen in this ion will be 5. So that will be V. We'll put V here. So the name of this oxo-anion will be trioxonitrate 5 ion. As simple as that. Maybe you need to try last example. Let's try another example. So we have CO3 -2. So it's a trioxo. So it's a trioxo, but there's a carbon here, so it's a carbonate. Then we bring our bracket, then our ion. Let's find or determine the oxidation number of the carbon. So that will be C plus 3 of the oxygen equal to the charge on the ion. That will be -2. That will be C plus 3. Oxygen is -2 equals to -2. So C, that will give us -6 equals to -2. So that will give us C equals to -2 plus 6. So that will give us +4. So that will be IV. So to be IV. So the name of this compound or ion will be a trioxocarbonate or ion. Let's try another example. So we can try Mn. Let's do MnO for minus. So this is a tetra. So this is a of 4 oxygen. So tetra oxo, and here it is a manganate. So manganese, all right? So it's a manganate. Oxo, so to be a manganate. Then our bracket, then ion. We need to determine the oxidation number of the manganese. So that will give us N plus 4 of the oxygens equals to the charge on the compound, that's -1. So Mn, that will give us +4, -2. Remember the charge of oxygen is -2 equals to -1. So Mn, that will give us -8 equals to -1. Then that will give us Mn equals to -1 plus 8. So that will give us Mn equals to +7. So 7 will be VII. We'll put VII I here. So the name of this compound will be tetraoxomanganate 7 ion. As simple as that. I believe you understand how to name oxo-anions. Please, thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you again in the next video. Please share the video if you've not done so, and subscribe if you've not subscribed to the video. Remember, we need your subscription for the ongoing of this program. Thank you very much. Take very good care of yourself. We'll meet again in the next video.